Paul, I know you had one more idea that was really cool. Do you think you could speed run us through that in 2 minutes?
Sure. I heard that Canada has the highest per capita wedding. Go to Poland, they don't have as many. You go to other countries, they're there, but they're a smaller format. So this is the the wedding capital of the world per capita. And with every wedding comes the traditional wedding video. And I go make that sound right now because it's that typical wedding format is always the same thing. You got the ceremony where the grooms in slow motion put on their ties and the bride and spins in her dress and their mom cries. And then they get to the church and they have beautiful walk down on the ring, boy and girl. And then you get to the flowers and the photos, and then it just gets worse from there because then it's just boring speeches and some dancing. And really, who cares other than the bride and groom? It just sits in a box after. I don't know if anyone's asked you to watch their wedding video, but they're never anything interesting to the viewer other than, wow, maybe in 30 years you get to see your old uncle who's passed away, or that's when Mike used to be skinny. It's pretty bad. And it's a business, and they sell it as that itemized list, those exact little categories, and it's horrible. So I was thinking wedding videos, who are usually designed for the bride and groom, leave little value or entertainment for anybody else outside either that wedding immediately, or family or friends, or just people who are interested. So why don't we kind of disrupt that wedding video format with a new approach that makes wedding videos just a little more exciting, a little more interactive and shareable, right? Set up little events, gimmicks, little showstoppers that are the chance for other people to peek into your wedding, and just make it entertaining and viral content. So when I talked about that bag of footage, it isn't those, chunks of the grooms, the bride and their sister crying, the wedding, the dance. Maybe it's something different. Maybe we have a feed. I don't know. I'm curious to see what this wedding in Calgary looks like, and I can click in. Hey, I go and look at like surf cams and stuff. Like, what's the beach look like?
People do live stream their weddings, though. I've heard of that as a service because,
Is it a full service? But is it only that? Like, I'm talking about a package. That's only one of the list.
I think it's for people who are trying to reach like family back home type thing.
And then through that, maybe we have on real time editing that gets some really cool snippets that you can share at the table. You could go through a little library that we're building throughout the night and use them as your footage. Like, I got my footage, but someone else shot something way cooler and I missed it. So maybe there's a library of stuff that just starts to build throughout the night. Maybe we have things like Ring Boy Cam, follow little Mikey all night. Have that option. We talked about, using technology and bringing that in. The 360 cam is like the hottest thing.
Yeah, it's because they're just all the same. Like literally just niche down. I think there's so many ideas that's spider off from this that you could take.
Yeah, and you walk in and your offer sheet is completely different than, ABC weddings. But then you just look at footage of other people and it's all the same and it looks nice, but who cares? That instantly, like, I want something more for my wedding. You'll give me the basics that, are the price of entry for wedding. You'll have that footage, but it's some other thing. Maybe time capsule footage where you can't even get to it in 5 years or from now. I don't know. You can turn it. Just break it up and make it excellent and make it bite-sized and shareable. So it's not just the bride and groom that give a shit. It's everyone else.
Yeah, I've actually seen that there's a trend with reality TV style shot weddings. So people are same thing with film as well. Two ideas that we already talked about. People have sort of niched down in that direction. But yeah, there's definitely paths that you could go even further with that.
It's so untouched and it's so just basic. It just needs a full refresh. It's not hard to do. It just takes some thinking and just just reinvent a few things. It's tired. So I thought, okay, the third category for me was something that's just stale, and then was wedding videos. If I had to right now and started one, like, it would look completely different than everyone else's, and there would be surprise and delight through the whole thing. And again, the end goal is to make sure that everyone's got something to share and show it off, because right now it just ends up in a drawer, and it just, who cares?
Now when I think about like these live streams industries, it's so ridiculous to me right now that the live stream industry is being over dominated by gaming in North America, where like, I mean, there's a new kind of category within Twitch that's been emerging, which is like these lifestyle type of videos, or kind of like do something with me for a day in real life. And someone should just make a wedding category for Twitch, where like the entire channel is just like having that like gaming host table set up, and then there's like this like main camera entrance, and maybe you have like two talk hosts that are just like really good at just like blabbing for the entire day to talk about the wedding. Someone should just like create that niche category.
That's actually such an amazing direction to take that down. Oh my gosh. Hey, guys, that is all the time that we have. But before we go, Paul, is there anything that you'd like to share about where people can find you or learn more about what you do?
Yeah, pauljanetta.com is a collection of my advertising and my new direction, my new directing career. It's been a couple of years and get a lot of great traction. So you get a cross section of my work there, my style. Feel free to give me a call, text, shoot, come by my house. I don't care. Go for a drink, have a laugh. And if anyone has anything that they, even just want to dig into deeper, like we need an eye on something, or is this script technically 15 seconds long? Anything, I'm more than happy to help, because I have a passion for it. So, I'm more than willing to dig into stuff, to see stuff come out, and it's full potential. So yeah, happy to help as well. And guys, thank you. This was awesome. This is my first podcast, and yeah, I was excited to do it, and it's a lot of fun. So appreciate the time.
I was going to mention that also, with all the business inquiries that we might get, if anyone wants to start a vintage camera production house, they can
I'll start shopping at some old I'll go small town hopping and see if people got stuff.
Thanks for joining us today, Paul.